Mungo Man and Mungo Lady. Around 50 millennium ago, a settlement of ancient Homo sapiens thrived upon the shores of Lake Mungo in outback New South Wales. This group of Indigenous Australians displayed advanced social development in the way which they practiced ceremonial burial. The body of Mungo Man was revealed by shifting sand dunes near Mildura, near Lake Mungo, one of the several dry lakes in the World Heritage listed Willandra Lakes region. In February 1974, Professor of Geology Jim Bowler discovered these ancient bones. Bowler recalls, "One Aboriginal elder said to me, 'You did not find Mungo Lady and Mungo Man, they found you.'" The burials of Mungo peoples involved the spreading of red ochre over the body during the burial ceremony. This is the earliest known use of pigment for artistic, philosophical, or religious purposes. A range of recent dating tests put the minimum date of the burial of the remains at 56,000 to 68,000 years ago, according to the Journal of Human Evolution. The redating was carried out using 3 different methods: uranium series, electron spin resonance, and optically stimulated luminescence. The research has important implications for the global debate over the development of modern human variation, the beginning of human sea travel, and the settlement by the ancestors of Aboriginal Australians of the semi-arid regions. Said archaeologist Dr. Alan Thorne, the variation in the degree to which the bone fragments are burnt, particularly the cranial vault, suggests that the skeleton was broken up before cremation, or burnt, broken, and then burnt again. In modern times, the focus within the Indigenous community has been the right to return the remains of Mungo Man and Mungo Lady. After being excavated by archaeologists, the bodies have been kept at the Australian National University, even though they haven't been studied for over 10 years. There was a huge push by a wide variety of Indigenous nations to have the remains returned to the country near Mildura in which they once lived. This complex issue was fiercely debated for years, even though some reconciliation has been accomplished after unreserved apologies were issued by the Australian National University. Perhaps this was a somewhat necessary evil, because when the Rangers, in conjunction with La Trobe University, conducted an experiment in order to research how many precious archaeological artifacts were being removed from the site by tourists and treasure seekers, they placed fake bones around in the area away from the protective boardwalks, but unfortunately all of these were taken within 2 weeks, indicating a high level of vandalism within the World Heritage Site. The remains of Lady Mungo and Mungo Man were returned to the Muthi Muthi, Ningambpa, and Pakanji peoples in November of 2017, to much ceremony. 5 Indigenous dance groups from different parts of the country came to perform, each representing a star in the Southern Cross or the points on the compass. From the north, the Yolngu Nation from Gulawinki, Elcho Island, and Nullarbor in the Northern Territory. From the south, the Talkinjeri dancers from Murray Bridge, South Australia. East came from Yarrabah in Queensland, and from the west, the Nyunga Nation and Whadjuk from Western Australia. The 5th star in the constellation of the dance was the Pakanji dancers from the Mildura region. Mawalan Marika, Yolngu elder and dance leader, said his dancers came to pay their respects. Errol Neal, leader of the Yarrabah dancers, said the return of Mungo Man had importance for all Australians. "We feel that this is the start of a new era for us in Aboriginal Australia and mainstream Australia," he said. "It's time they embrace us, the Aboriginal people, the oldest living culture in the world. We are searching for an identity as a nation. We have an identity that's 60,000 years old, and it's time for practical reconciliation, time to start listening to us Aboriginal people," he said. The John Curtin School of Medical Research found that Mungo Man's skeletons contained a small section of mitochondrial DNA. After analysing the DNA, the school found that Mungo Man's DNA bore no similarity to other ancient skeletons, modern Aborigines, and modern Europeans. Furthermore, his mitochondrial DNA had become extinct. These results called into question the out-of-Africa theory of human evolution. If Mungo Man was descended from a person who had left Africa in the past 200,000 years, then his mitochondrial DNA should have looked like all of the other samples. There are 2 conflicting scientific theories, although the main one is from a study which did recover ancient mitochondrial DNA from a district Willandra lake skeleton and determined it to be of haplogroup S2 and Aboriginal origin. In conclusion, the story of Mungo Man and Mungo Lady has been a long and complex tale. It has proven to eventually bring a scientific community together with Indigenous ones, and it has also given Australia a much more ancient identity and given Indigenous Australians proof of what they have always known, that this land always has and always will be Aboriginal land.